First thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna observe the body for any rashes, moles, scars. All right. Next, I'm gonna do the instrumentation. From here, I'm gonna take the nerve scope, press there, make sure it's on medium, make sure it's on. It's on. I'm gonna keep it a little narrow for the the cervicals, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go from about T2, and I'm gonna go up, keeping it perpendicular to spine. From here, I'm just gonna move up, and I'm looking for any breaks that occur. In the needle, I'll go over 3 times. That'll be indicative of subluxation. I'm also, as I go up, I'll mark the bottom side. As I track, I'll mark the bottom of the trailing edge. From here, I'm going to widen it out. I'm going to go down. Making sure perpendicular to the spine. As I trace down, and I'll continue this down onto the sacral joints, the sacroiliac joints. Also, I want to make sure I'm looking for any breaks, and I'll do 3 times over, and I'll mark the side, the above for the trailing edge, just out. So I'll do with that. From here, there I'll move to palpation, the edema. Man, looking for pitting edema. I'll look for tenderness on palpation of the spinous process. It's just pressing up. And tenderness on the SI joint. Above would be PI, below would be an IS, and any on generalized area would be EX. And if there's a deep inguinal pain or no absence of pain on the SI joint, it could be AIN. From here, I'm going to start motion palp. From here, I'm going to start motion palp. All I'm going to do for the occiput is I'm going to come off mastoid, right onto C1. I'm just going to challenge through, feeling for them to close down. If they did not close down, that'd be indicative of a PR. It's not closing on that right side. I'll then go to, and I would do that bilaterally on each side. I'll then mastoid in C1, checking rotation, feeling if that TVP kicks back at me or if I'm restricted in the mastoid, and that'll give me a rotational component, which could be a PR or an LR, depending on PR on the right, PL on the left. So it's feeling the rotation. From here, I'm going to do restriction, feeling there for a PS, if the occiput does not close down, or for a extension restriction, feeling if it's not extending back, or flexion restriction of the occiput, it's not flexing down. So flexion restriction, if it wasn't flexing down, that'd be an A, indicative of an AS. And if it wasn't extending back, that'd be indicative of a PS. Here I'll go to Atlas. Atlas is fairly similar. I'm going to go off C1 and C2. From here, I'm going to flex down and make sure everything's. If it wasn't flexing down, it'd be. If it was up, it'd be a AR. AR. From there, I'm going to check rotation, making sure they're gliding, they're spreading as they rotate, 2 TVPs. And if not, then it'd be a PR. If it was kicking back, it may be an S. And if it was gliding forward, fine. And maybe I felt the mess would go, it'd be a PA. All I'm going to do now is ask the patient to close their eyes, put their head up and down, come down to neutral. And all you're going to check for is if it's coming down, the chin's dropping down, it'd be an AI. The chin's coming up, it'd be an AS. All right. So from here, I'm going to go just segment of the spine. I'm going to find it. I'm going to ask the patient to bend forward for me. Bend forward, good, and extend back. I'm feeling for as it goes forward. I'm on the spinous. I'm feeling for the spinous to spread as he extends forward. Feeling for him to close down as he goes back. If they did not extend forward, or if he did not flex forward, if he flexed forward and they did not spread, that'd be indicative of P. From here, I'll now palpate for lateral flexion or rotation, and I'm feeling if they can go. Rotation, I'm feeling the spinous if they glide out here. If it wouldn't go to the right, it would be indicative of a PL. Wouldn't go to the right, PL. And lastly, if I have that PL lifting and I did lateral flexion on the left, lateral flexion on the right, whatever side didn't close down, that'd be the side of the wedge. So if it was a PL and didn't close on the left, that'd be a PL a PLI if it didn't close down on the left. No, PLS if it didn't close down on the left. If it didn't close down on the right, it'd be a PLI. The wedge would be away from it. Lastly, we're going to do the SI joints. So all I'm going to do is contact the PSIS, rotate away, extend, and just palpate through. Same thing here. Rotate away, legs back, extend. From there, I'm going to have the patient stand up. Now I'm going to do this test here. Place on the superior aspect of the PSIS. I'm going to have him bend over. Good. One more time. Bend over. There you go. Good. And so I'm checking to see what side goes up first. Say if the left side went up first, it could be indicative of some kind of subluxation on the left. If neither side, if one side went up and then one followed, it'd be indicative of a wobble. This could be more of a sacrum. Lastly, I'm going to check glute height. So glute height, I'm just going to come down. I'm going to trace up, see which one's higher. If the right was higher, it could be indicative of an AS. If it was lower, it could be indicative of a PI. From here, I'm going to check glute width. So glute width, I come to the cleft, and I'm just checking here. If this was wider, it could be an IN, and if it was more narrow, no. If it was wider, it'd be in. If it was wider, yes, I was right. If it was wider, it'd be a IN. If it was narrow, it'd be an EX. Just come to the sacrum. Come right in here. And from here, I'm going to have PSIS, sacrum. I'm going to have them raise their same side leg. They should move away. If they didn't move away, it'd be indicative of AS. It'd be an AS ilium. From here, I'm going to have them raise their opposite leg. It'd be a PI, opposite leg. And so they should move, if they were opposite, they should move together. There. So move opposite. Okay. I'm going to have the patient sit down. Sit down, please. I'm going to check for the EXIN again. I'm going to have the patient, I'm just going to place my fingers on the SI joint, and I'm going to press in, all right? And if I don't feel it glide going in, if I did not feel it go in, it would be an IN restriction, and if I come out and I didn't feel it glide, it would be an EX restriction.